Kunta Kinte is described by Stan Margulies and by Mr. Walper, primarily by Mr. Margulies, was a recalcitrant. He was a rebel. I mean, he knew who he was. He would not surrender his name. He would not surrender his culture. And he would not surrender his memories of Africa. And most importantly, he was born a free man. So the concept of being a slave was always alien to him. And he always resisted it. He resisted any acquiescence to becoming, Yasa Noser. It just was not in his makeup. And that was an easy thing for me to do as a guy, or as John Amos, because that was pretty much my makeup. My father was, John Amos Sr., he was a tough nut. And my mom was a very resilient, strong woman. So for me to portray that aspect of Kunta Kinte's personality it was no mean feat. It wasn't a big stretch, I enjoyed the role. I enjoyed being able to bring some life and some substance to all those millions of Africans that had been enslaved and brought here and enslaved. So it was a wonderful feeling, a tremendous feeling of satisfaction to be involved in something like that, and then to have the acclaim that came with it. The only downside to it was, but none of us were so naive as to believe that Roots was going to change our individual careers, because that was the nature of the business, and it still is the nature of the business. One hit does not mean you're ever going to work again. I mean, the amount of actors that have won Academy Awards and then, had to literally go on food stamps is legend, is legion, rather. So the bottom line, Roots was satisfying in so many areas, but we all looked and hoped for additional work. We didn't think it would be of that caliber and that quality, because something like that comes along once in a lifetime. But the bottom line is, it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And as Louis Gossett said that day we're sitting under the tree in his death scene, it was a wonderful piece of steak or a wonderful piece of meat, and we haven't had anything quite like that since then.